What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. Today's video is on Power Rangers Operation Overdrive. So as many people know, this is a season that is highly disliked, let's just say that much. I mean, there are some people that like this season, I won't deny that, but at the same time, the fan base of the Power Rangers franchise is very much so against this season. But ironically, though it's against it, which is funny because this season is so commercialized. Like, I mean, I looked and I couldn't believe that this season, like one of the seasons that people consider to be one of the worst seasons there's been, has so many commercials in it. I think there's something like 18 commercials that I was able to find easily. Like, it wasn't even a problem. It was just like, okay, search up Power Rangers Operation Overdrive commercials. Oh, there it is. Found it. 5. Like, there's tons. I was just like, okay. Think I can do a bunch of reaction time. Okay. So, let's just say this much right now. This will probably split into multiple parts. More likely than not, probably 3 or so. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. You guys will know before I will. You guys will know, but by the time I do or whatever, but we'll figure it out. So, anyway, guys, I guess we're gonna start with our first commercial and continue on from there. And I hope you guys enjoy this.
Got double trouble? Unleash the 5 Drive Max vehicles that morph to a mega truck, then morph again to the awesome deluxe Drive Max Megazord. Now call up the Dual Drive Zords. Morph them to become the awesome sound and light deluxe Dual Drive Megazord. Combine both Zords to create the ultimate Drive Max Ultra Zord. Destroy evil with the Operation Overdrive Deluxe Drive Max and Dual Max Megazords. Only from Bandai.
Okay, so you may be noticing, how come it seems that I went automatically to that point in the show? Like, that's pretty late in, you would think, right? Like, that's, I don't know, good 15 or so episodes in, at least. The main reason why I wasn't able to find, like, this, just the Drive Max Megazord was because of the fact that, for some reason, you really couldn't find it. Most of the time it would be something accompanied by something. And believe me when I say this commercial, there's different variations of this commercial, which I'm going to be showing. But they're all different in certain ways. I mean, overall, the general concept is pretty much the same, but there are differences. But I thought that commercial was perfectly fine. The awesome lights and sound Drive Max Megazord, you know. Okay. I don't know. I mean, perfectly cool. Operation Overdrive was, you know, not the best season ever, but at the same time, I can appreciate it for what it's worth, though it isn't necessarily the strongest season. So the Japanese season was excellent, I'll tell you that much. I actually did like the Japanese season pretty well. I mean, I thought it was a pretty good season in Japan. In America, it's okay. It's not that great. I agree with the fan base. I am a person that is part of that fan base where I am not very fond of the season, but at the same time, I'm willing to appreciate it for what it's worth. So, okay, let's keep going.
Enter the realm of extraordinary worlds and join our heroes on their quest to discover an ancient crown and its missing jewels. Log on and go in search for hidden treasure. Every jewel collected in the game will win a prize, so everyone can win. The best players can also win big prizes. Play alone or with a friend. It's a race between good and evil. Dare you face the challenge? The Power Rangers Operation Overdrive treasure hunt game, only on Jetix.
Okay, so I have two things to say. So first of all, as you saw there, they mentioned they mentioned awesome prizes. So the PlayStation 3 was one, obviously. At that time, it was around, so that's cool. But the second thing was the Super Legends Power Rangers game. That's interesting, and it makes a lot of sense that they would advertise that game, but it's very funny how it is that they're like awesome prizes in the show. I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, it's just kind of funny. You know, it's perfectly cool. The commercial itself looked pretty simplistic. You know, it looks kind of like a Bejeweled kind of style game. If you guys have ever played that, as a typical computer game or something along those lines. It doesn't feel like it's anything too unique. Overall, the commercial worked pretty well. It has some pretty nice clips from the show. The speaker is very interesting, like kind of like a British accent, I guess you could say. Interesting, though. I would say that much. So, yeah, let's keep going.
Alien attack! Call out the Hovertech cycles with their Power Ranger figures and their devastating missile-firing action! Now morph into hover mode and evil has nowhere to hide! Now call out the 30-centimeter talking Power Rangers with their awesome weapons! And let's do some giant damage!
Slammer time!
Destroy evil with the Operation Overdrive Hovertech cycles and 30-centimeter talking Power Rangers, only from Bandai.
Okay, alright. So, the 37-meter talking Power Rangers. What? What does that even mean? Is the 37 meters referring to, like, how tall they are? Because they're not 37 meters tall. If that were true, we would have a skyscraper Power Ranger figures. 37 meter distance from where they can shoot? Okay, that might make more sense, but even so, that sounds a bit, like, insane. What are they saying? 37 meters for? It doesn't make any sense at all. 37, and also 37 meters. What an odd number. 37 meters. What? I also just noticed it's like what? I don't know. It just sounds weird. And also, if you hadn't noticed, they're like if you saw the villains in comparison to the Rangers. I mean, the villains are massive. Like they look like full on like Barbie doll size, while the the villains look like the traditional size. I'm just like, what's going on here? Otherwise the vehicles that they had looked pretty cool. They have these kids just making them move around. I don't know. It's all right. I don't know. Obviously to make them look like they're frightened or whatever, the monsters. Even though in the one thing I always notice about that is that they do that in the show. Do you ever see the villains really ever cower, except for the early seasons, like in Mighty Morphin, where they used to actually do that when there would be something ridiculous going on. Otherwise, you really never saw any of the villains ever going whoa, freaking out and all that. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's unusual. That's very unusual. So yeah.
Power Rangers Dual Drive Megazord. 5 Zords morph to Dual Drive Megazord. Then combine with the Drive Max Megazord for awesome Megazord power. Dual Drive and Drive Max Megazord, each sold separately.
Bandai. What? Okay. That was one thing that you haven't really. I forgot that they actually used to do that for a while. The Bandai thing. Also, another thing that I noticed is that they said they seem to be saying awesome a bit now. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think I've heard that already more than once, and I'm just like, awesome drive, dual drive Megazord or whatever. I'm just like, what? Okay, sure. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just noticing things a little too much, but kind of a bit overdone. Whatever. It's cool though.
With the Power Rangers helmet,
Go! Overdrive! Accelerate!
you can hear a full battle mission.
Grab the jewel! Jump over the lava!
Download over 20 more missions online. Ask your parents first.
Good job, young Ranger!
Mega Mission Helmet with over 20 different missions.
Okay, so the Mega Missions helmet. Alright, one thing I will say is that helmet is shiny. Like, beyond shiny. And it looks bulky. I mean, bulky. And you may think to yourself, well, it's a kid's helmet, and just in general, they don't want the kids to suffocate. But at the same time, it just looks like, whoa, shiny, bulky, and just kind of weird. I don't know. I don't mind it. Perfectly simple concept. Something that definitely kids would definitely get in on and enjoy, I'm sure. Pretty fun, I'm sure, for a little kid to just play around in and goof around or whatever. Very simple concept. Works really well. Downloading things. Obviously, that plug, if anyone noticed, there was a wire. That wire is probably there because the helmet does require you to charge it, because it probably doesn't last very long, the battery life. So, sad. But otherwise, pretty cool toy. Interesting concept, definitely. I mean, again, this is still before we see like our modern seasons where like, you know, we have like all the masks for each of the seasons, like, which doesn't even start until we get to Nickelodeon seasons, but that'll come soon enough. I'll tell you guys, that'll happen very soon. So yeah.